Okay, so these are the books that I like to start with. They're just different like brands. So you've got Alfred, Bastian, Nuna, the Discoveries, and Faber. We'll get to that. So, you know, they each have their own progression of the levels and everything, but I just like to use all of them basically. So with a new beginner, a young beginner, you start with these and you start on the black notes by learning their, you know, their finger numbers and just very basic, like how to hold your hand and your finger numbers. And then you talk about the keyboard and talks about the groups of the black notes, 2 notes, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, like that. And then so you just start playing. So they just start really simple with their second finger and their third finger, and they just follow along with the numbers. So each of these books starts that way with just little songs on the black notes. Okay, so again, you got the Alfred prep course, the Bastian, oh whoops, this is primer B, but you want primer A, Bastian, primer A. I really like these ones, the Music Magic, but you need to make sure you start with the pre-staff, has a gold border, versus this orange one, that's when they're on the staff, the intro to staff. So for a young beginner, you want to start with the pre-staff. And then I really like these ones too, the Piano Discovery. So this is the off-staff starter. Again, so it starts on those black notes with their finger numbers, playing little groups of 2, and you talk about quarter notes and half notes, how to count those, and skips. So it just introduces those basic concepts without any letter names. And then you work your way up to naming the musical alphabet, naming notes, and then just playing little notes. I call these floaty notes because they're just floating in space. So they can start to name their finger numbers, say 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or they could say C, D, C, D, C, D, or they could say quarter, 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 half note, or whatever. Okay, so we do all that. This one's good too. This is an oldie but a goodie, the Nuna Basic Piano. So these are the ones that I like to start with for young beginners. And then as they start learning more notes on the staff, you can get into like so for the red book, the primer A, that starts with reading on the staff a little bit. So you'll get into reading on the staff with those. And then I like to switch over to the Discovery. This is the theory book, but it looks like this, and it's the on-staff starter. So once they can read notes on the staff, I switch to this on-staff starter book because it has a lot of the simple songs on the staff. And then for most of my method books, I like to use Faber, the Piano Adventures. So they come in like a set, right? You've got performance, lesson, theory, and technique. So this is the primer level. It's purple. Once they're reading notes on the staff all the way down to the C position, then it's good because it kind of starts with like F and G. Anyway, so they go through these books and then you can move on to the next level. So that's the primer level. And then this is the level 1. So they just keep going, and it's just really simple, and they all coordinate together. But it's always good to supplement with like, so the thing I like about these Faber books is for each level, they have all these other books that have all these songs at that level. So in level 1, they have popular favorites, classics, etc. I have a few of those. You know, I have them all here. Here's all my level 2B. Here's all my primer level extra books, just so they can play some fun songs. Oh, and over here, yeah, they have the Bastian. I really like, they have these like little homework books that have little just like worksheet things to practice naming notes, if that works for your students to practice naming. So this is the white key one, and there's one for like naming notes on the staff too. One of my students has it. And then I made these flashcards for when they're learning their notes on the staff. And you can also get flashcards for like naming white notes, like, okay, what's that note? Oh, it's an E, you know. So flashcards are good for practicing. I made these just because I was tired of having to flip through my big old stack. So yeah, that's what I did. I started with those little books, naming black keys and then white keys, and then move on to the staff. So if you have any other questions, let me know. And good luck.